Hello? Hello, Internet?
Okay.
I don't see it live yet. Let's see. Now we're live.
Yeah, none of them have icons.
It is here, boys. Sounds about right.
That works for me. Why are they saying you have no voice? I don't understand. Oh. Wait.
Your mic up. Yeah.
Wait. Hold on. Yeah, I don't hear any. Oh, wait.
You might
There we
have
go.
to-
Test. It wasn't muted. Oh my god, dude. What the fuck is happening?
We have you.
Alright, I'm good now.
Yeah, you got it now.
OBS,
Dan, Dan, come in from the puzzle basement. Come in, Dan.
OBS, you have fucked up now. You have fucked up.
You dumb fucked up. You fucked up.
No, dude,
You
it was
fucked
not.
up.
It wasn't OBS. It was Trevor, man. You
Now
heard
you
what you
fucked
said.
up. Now you fucked up.
Now you fucked up. Where are you going? What I should have done a long time ago. Fucking the whitest kids you know. So
God,
good.
dude. That skit has become legend in this chat.
Yeah.
Alright, well, we're here. With the man CheddarChezz.
Hello.
Back from
Hello.
his 9 million mile journey.
Oh
It
wait.
is your boy. Only 12,237 miles, but close enough. 9 million's pretty
Alright.
close.
And also, of course, DJ Apollo himself,
Yes.
Praise.
Hello.
APLFisher.
Wide angle right here. Wow. Oh yes.
So-
Hello. Sorry. Yes.
There we go.
There we go.
He's
Do
here.
I sound good on my
You
new
do.
Blue Snowball microphone?
Wow.
I finally
Stepping up in the world.
splurged.
It's
Finally
almost
splurged.
like the next purchase will be a 1080p monitor.
It could be.
Hopefully
It
not.
could be. You know, it's taken me. How long have the Blue Snowballs been like the standard for, you
Like
know,
cheap-
cheap?
Only
cheap
since
decent
pros
mics.
don't talk shit.
I
Yeah.
finally decided to do it.
A little channel called Pros Don't Talk. Okay. Alright, let me open up Twitter here as well. So, guys, I will tweet out that it is. Yeah. Did I tweet it out on KBMOD? No, I did not yet because we never got it working. So let me tweet it out.
Trevor got you good.
Trevor, man, he came out. Nobody fucks with Grandma, dude. Alright?
You should know that.
Grandma is not fuckable with, is what we learned in the
Yeah.
last podcast.
Yeah, she's not.
Though I don't
is
even,
not.
I can't ever remember even thinking the words of fuck and grandma in the same sentence that I, in my life, that I would ever want to do that. So, you come across weird shit though, really scouring Tube Galore. So
Well,
I've
I
seen
mean-
some terrible thumbnails that have made me really question my whole thing with, you know, my whole.
I think
love
you guys
question.
know the first question to ask on this AMA regarding Scott and Tube Galore thumbnails. So, Scott, what disturbing things have you seen on Tube Galore lately?
I don't really want to talk about it, but I will say a lot of these sites when you go that are like an aggregate of all these other sites, the one thing that really pisses me off is when you're browsing through the categories, a lot of times really sick thumbnails are at the forefront. And if it's a category that you don't want to jerk off to, it's fucked up. And
Like
I've seen,
mature?
you know, like the she-male shit, it's just like you're scrolling, you're like, oh, God. Some of the really just fucked up shit.
Well,
And last night, I came across, I don't want to talk about it, but it was scarring.
there's
So.
a video on Sage Spartan's channel from way back in the day of a man named Alex who came across Grandma's mud wrestling on a porn channel. and
That sounds hot.
we had a good
Wow.
discussion about it.
Wow. I can't even imagine. I mean, at least then they're kind of covered in mud, so you can't see everything. Probably,
Yeah,
right?
I'm trying to find the video right now so I can link it because it's so old. I don't know how many.
My webcam is lagging, so I may.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's just,
You're making a great face right now, though.
yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh man.
It's like I see a cupcake or a hamburger. Goddamn
You were
desk.
staring it down.
Yeah, that's gonna be
Psyching it
mine.
up.
I'm gonna put that in my mouth and eat it. Yeah.
Wait,
That's
is
what I
this
say.
it right here? I think this is it. I'm gonna make sure it's muted.
Num num.
Yeah, I found it. No, wait, this is it? Oh, yes, this is it. I found the video. There we go.
Play it.
I just put it in the chat, but Dunkus is in there too. A wild Dunkus voice is in the background, I believe.
Oh my.
It's some old school shit, but yes, we are here with CheddarChezz.
The Cheaters.
So you went what? Like you said, 9,200 miles.
No, 12,037.
12,037.
Yes.
Mother of God.
How?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you have to be a different person. You're not even the same person you were when you left Chezz.
Yeah,
Nah, man,
right?
I'm changed. But the one disappointing thing was the day of not even 24 hours after I got back, I went and visited some friends I ride with here. And one of my buddies started working out in January just like I did, and I come back, he's like, "You look kind of deflated, man." I'm like, "No fucking shit, it's been 55 days. I haven't been going to the gym. What the fuck
Oh,
do you
man.
think I've been doing?" I'm like,
No
"Really? This is how you're
gains.
going to open it up? You're going to open it up with I look deflated?" You son of a
Wow,
bitch. I'm going to
yeah.
shoot so many roids now.
Wow.
So many.
Wow.
But so you decided. Why did you decide to go on the journey? I linked his blog in the chat for those. It's findingchezz.com, and it's gonna. I don't think it's going away anytime soon.
No.
We
It's-
host it, I think so.
Yeah, you guys host it, but
Yeah.
it's going to be up for a while. I still have to post my final closing thoughts, but honestly, it's a lot to, 55 days of living out of a bag, on not just living out of a bag, but with a MacBook Pro of all things. I mean, it's really trying on a man, really mentally challenging. Farmville isn't really a thing anymore, so there wasn't really much I could play. But yeah, the short story is I ended up breaking up with my girlfriend and then lost my job 2 weeks after that. And yep, I
To
decided.
be fair, you didn't really want the job anymore.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy the job at all. I even wrote my resignation letter on their computers, which has nothing to do with me getting fired. Their IT was just absolute shit there, anyways. But I've been reading all these ride reports for, all my friends and people I don't know who ride around the country doing crazy shit, and I figured, hey, why not take this time and actually write my own little story and go just kind of on the road and see all these things that I never saw. And I haven't even done a tally of all the states I rode through, but prior to that trip, it was places like Florida, California, Minnesota, Pennsylvania, Boston for PAX. That's about it. I never traveled anywhere. I never saw anything. So, I saw so much crazy stuff.
Did you meet anyone like Trevor?
I met two gentlemen like Trevor in Georgia, actually, who were
God.
kind of crazy with a truck and a gun rack and all that stuff. And they were trying to give me suggestions on roads to take. And I took one of them, but the second one looked kind of sketchy. Like I'd go down the road and then Trevor and his other cousin would kind of bum rush me and then bend me over and have their way. So I decided against that second road they suggested. But all in all, a lot of my buddies are like 55 days. It doesn't seem like you've had like many incidents or, really bad experiences. Honestly, there was only a few points that were kind of sketchy, but other than that, it was pretty much, I'd say 90% fully enjoyable.
Yeah, it's pretty drama free.
Which
you
is
guys
good.
Have read the blog. Just the one speeding ticket, really. And then
Well, I actually got two. I didn't even post about the second one. I got one on the exit of California and a speed trap.
oof.
God damn California. But
Well,
That's
good.
okay.
You gotta stay away from Trevor's.
yeah, gotta stay away from Trevor's.
Gotta
But
stay Apparently we don't, but you do.
yeah, you guys seek Trevor's.
Yeah. Jesus.
Trevor magnets.
So, I do have a few questions here from the. I don't have a formal document. I usually do for these. But here we go. I'm looking through here. There was a lot of questions for CheddarChezz. So Darkwing02, and you don't have to answer the first part of this if you don't want to. But
No, you have to answer every part of it.
Jesus. Okay.
Come on, Dan. We can only
Darkwing02 asks, how much money did the trip cost in total, and what would you do differently for a future cross-country trip?
Okay. I haven't actually calculated how much it cost. I'm completely okay to disclose it. It was probably gas was probably I think close to maybe $1,300, and then with the stays, and honestly the most expensive part was Vancouver. Me, Mark, and Tegan just went out and balled. We balled pretty hard and ate like steak dinners and stuff. It was awesome, but it's all part of a vacation. You're supposed to spend money, but I'd probably say the whole trip maybe costs close to $2,500. And honestly, I know that's not too bad at all, and that's not including. Keep in mind, I'm probably going to have to pay like $650 in tickets, but those are all small things that I can kind of push for a while. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Dude, if you were in a vehicle, that wouldn't have even covered gas for like
nope, not even
half
close.
of that time. That's
Not
insane.
Even, I was getting
That's
almost
so
50
dope.
miles to the gallon.
Oh my god, I fucking hate you.
On the highway stints, yeah, or any like cruising.
I gotta get like a moped or some shit. I wouldn't trust myself on a motorcycle, but I could get a gay looking moped and just
Get you a
putz
Honda
around
Ruckus,
California.
dude. Those are the cool looking mopeds.
Oh yeah, all right.
You could
well,
jump curbs and shit with them.
I gotta do it. I
You could
can't
be
pay
urban.
$4.45 gas anymore, dude. In California, it's fucking
God,
retarded.
that is ridiculous. It's like
It's insane.
$3.45 here.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's $4.11 for unleaded, 87 here. That's not even premium. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. But and then what was the second part was if I would do anything different. First thing I would do differently, and you guys can. You know what? I thought about buying a different bike, or at least trading mine in before I left, and I decided not to do it because the reason I decided against it was I know my bike, I know what goes wrong with it, and I know how to fix it. So, yeah, I decided to hang on to the sport bike and take that, and honestly, it's another investment that I couldn't make, justify drop $1,000 or something more dollars on a new bike. But if I'm going to do this trip again, and I'm definitely going to do another trip, it'd probably be on something more like a sport touring, where it still kind of looks like my bike, but it's a more upright riding position. I'd have hard tail bags that can lock. The biggest concern and probably the biggest downfall of this trip was my entire life was strapped on the back of a bike with bungee cords. If I took a shit for too long, I could come out on my bike and everything would be gone, And that's my entire livelihood. So having locking luggage, just things like that, peace of mind where I can actually get off the bike and leave it and not worry about it, that's going to be the biggest thing. And I really hope to kind of go hit more national parks and forests. I mean, Grand Canyon, Yellowstone were just absolutely mind-blowing. Like, just completely, just to see the scale of these things and the beauty of them was great. And I want to go see some things in Canada, actually, in my next trip, too. But it was tough because some places I'd go and I wanted to see this, I think, like a Chinese garden. I think it was in Seattle or Portland, I don't remember, but I couldn't leave my bike there. I still had my helmet on. I walked through it really quickly, and then I had to go right back out to my bike because it's parked on the street with hobos 50 feet away from it. So that's probably the biggest thing I would do, is just a different bike. Honestly, otherwise everything I had, I mean, I was prepared. Camping, stay at Airbnbs. At a moment's notice, I could have pitched a tent, but I mean, anywhere. I mean, on the side of the road, and somebody's in Trevor's backyard.
I got a question for you. Sure. So
Sure.
you were riding out a lot, and you were camping out. At any point, did you? Well, I'm sure you masturbated. That's just not even a question.
Oh,
but
for sure.
Did you masturbate in like a beautiful, glorious nature scene, as the sun started coming up over the hills? Did you?
I didn't
come
get any,
into a flower or something.
No,
Because I would have.
I didn't know.
I'm gonna do that.
Unfortunately, I didn't. I probably should have. I did wander down to the Grand Canyon at about 1:30 in the morning with a fugitive, and
Okay.
if he wasn't there, I probably could have fapped directly into the Grand Canyon. That's not even a joke.
That
So,
would. Holy shit! That's
I could have fapped directly into the Grand Canyon.
Oh, that's good.
Shit,
Next
that would have
time,
been
though.
brilliant. Yeah,
Next time.
I'm gonna do that. That's gonna be one
Made
day.
another Grand Canyon baby
Yeah.
out of it.
God. Yeah, what if like you masturbated off the edge of the Grand Canyon and there was like a tourist who wasn't wearing underwear, and somehow your semen floated right up her sleeve?
There's people who hike down to like the bottom of it, so it's. I mean, it's
Yeah,
possible.
it's
that I
very
could've
possible. I
nutted-
wouldn't even take the risk. I would just.
I could have
put it
gave somebody a face shot without even knowing it. I would have heard their echo as they scream, "What the fuck?"
Oh, jeez. Okay. All right. Sorry. Anyway, okay. So the answer is no. But that's. I mean, But I still can't get over the 20. I mean, even if it's a little more. Even if it was like. Even if you had said like 3,000 or 3,500, for that amount of time not being home. How long was it again? How many days?
55 days.
55 fucking days, man.
But everyone
That is
kind of neglects the fact that I had friends. I mean, I stayed in Pennsylvania for like 4 days. I stayed in Boston for 2 or 3 days. Like a lot of, it's nice that I know people all across the
that's
US.
true.
I mean, I stayed with fucking Rick Leslie in Seattle. You know, like
Yep.
that's the craziest part. And I really wanted to go and get out of my comfort zone. That's why I camped where there was bears and shit like that, and just do new things. And
Wait, what? There's getting out of your comfort zone, Chezz. Then there's having a death wish. What?
well.
Did you roll in honey naked and then just sleep?
No, I poured the can of ravioli all over me, and then I fucking slept on top of my tent,
shit.
actually.
Bears fucking
Yeah.
love Chef Boyardee. I don't know if you knew this.
Who doesn't love the chef?
Yeah.
It's true.
It's like saying who doesn't love Aunt Jemima.
Speaking of, I got a can of Chef Boyardee with my name on it.
Okay, a couple questions. Well, a question pertaining to. Now I lost it because I'm bad. Okay, from your boy Arbo. Chezz, what was the most breathtaking thing you saw during your trip, or the most breathtaking experience?
So, there's a little bit of a backstory to get to that point, but I think the first kind of embrace of the trip and what was going on was after I left Boston. And prior to that, the ride to Pennsylvania was 38 degrees and rainy. And then I spent 13 hours riding to Boston, and that was fucking miserable. And then after Boston, I started, instead of going to New York City, I winded around the backcountry New York, into Connecticut, into Virginia. And there was a moment, and I think it's Highway 512, if I can remember, that I'm not even kidding, I shed a tear over how beautiful everything was at that one moment in time. Just beautiful roads, no cars, the sun was out, it was nice outside, nature, just everything kind of fell into place like, holy shit, I'm doing this. I've been talking about this trip for months, and I'm not even joking. I shed a tear like a big flaming queer, and it was amazing.
That was beautiful poetry right there that you just dropped on us too.
It was,
rhymed.
that was the first moment it clicked. But I mean, the redwoods, it's just seeing. I think the spectrum of things, and everyone. A common question is, what is your favorite state? I can't really answer that. I mean, I can kind of tell you which I lean more.
California.
They all have. I love California. Everyone knows I love California.
What was your
Hey.
favorite place to ride? Like just
Favorite
straight
place
Yeah.
to ride? New Mexico was one of, well, the backcountry New York, Connecticut, Virginia was kind of the first one, like, wow. And then I winded all the way down. Florida was really boring to ride in. It was not actually fun
Florida
to-
sucks. Just Florida straight up
Texas,
sucks.
Pretty
Texas
shitty
was
state.
flat,
Yeah.
but my buddy lives right on the coast, so I mean it was real beautiful over there. Just Texas is like a whole nother country. That's a whole different story to get in. But once I got into New Mexico and Arizona was my second moment of beautiful riding. But California, I'm sorry, you just California and Washington. I didn't know how amazing Washington was until I spent multiple days riding through there to get into Vancouver and get out. Washington is probably easily on my top 3 places to ride ever. It's just rivers and mountains and yeah, and it's not that populated because it's just so damn big. So, yeah, I'd probably say Florida or Washington and California, not Florida. Ha ha ha.
All right then. Come on, Brandon. Why you messaging me during this?
Come on.
Wow, Brandon, scumbag.
Scumbag Brandon.
Scumbag.
messaged me during this.
What was the? Here's a question. I got a question. What was the most interesting person that you met? That you obviously not. You can't answer any of us, or I know you want to say me, but like interesting as far as like on the road that you didn't, that either did something for you or you interacted with.
It's definitely going to be the Grand Canyon story.
Oh.
I'm camping at the Grand Canyon, and unfortunately, I didn't, like I said, didn't get to bust a nut into the Grand Canyon, unfortunately. But regardless of that, these people, it's a first come first served campsite on the South Rim, South Rim, and yeah, so they pull up the same time as me. I kind of set my stuff up, and I actually leave all my bags in my tent, and I go explore the Grand Canyon. I put full faith in the families and people that were around me to hopefully no one jacks it. I was like, I gambled that because I really wanted to see the Grand Canyon and go hiking and such. So when I come back, I bought a 6-pack of beer, I bought firewood, and I'm like, fuck this, I'm going to drink beer and I'm going to start my own fire. So I set up my GoPro on this like picnic table. It's aimed down. You see me setting up this fire, and I'm about to light it. And the only kind of tinder I have to start it is the Grand Canyon newspaper. And I'm like, fuck it, this is what we're using. So I start stuffing in there. The guy next to me walks over with a big ass thing of charcoals, a bag of charcoals, and a thing of lighter fluid. And he fucking throws them in my fire, and he gives me the lighter fluid. He goes, here, I could see you're struggling a little bit. He's super southern from like Alabama. Okay, cool. And I got him on video. It's funny as hell. He sees the red light on the GoPro. He's like, "Oh, is this gonna be on the internet?" I'm like, my friends didn't believe I could start a fire, but you just kind of defeated my whole purpose. But anyways,
then you pulled your pants down and you were like, "Yeah, this is gonna be on the internet."
So I start the fire. I hang out. I write my article, and then they invited me over because they had food and stuff. And I go over there, and those are the most interesting people I ever met. One was a guy hitchhiking who flew here from England. I don't even know where he landed, but he's been hitchhiking across the U.S. for like 6 weeks, and all he had was a nice condenser microphone, a recording, and a laptop, and then like a bag of clothes. And he writes poetry, and then he has other people read it, and some is dark and whatever. Huh. But the guy he's traveling with, who picked him up, he picked up this British hitchhiker, is actually the guy from Alabama who is fleeing I came later to find out he's fleeing the country. He's fleeing the country, and you want to see the Grand Canyon and hit Vegas before he went to Mexico to avoid a court case. Yes, and I didn't find this out until I was. I think it was something to do with his wife, so I'm not sure if he beat her or what the hell he did. Put it this way, he's fleeing to Mexico, so he did something that he's really trying to get away.
He did some fucking shit.
This is not a joke. I couldn't make this up if I wanted to.
Jesus.
And before I knew this, he saw I was carrying a knife on me because I had to cut the firewood open and shit, and I'm like, I have a knife on me, cool, I'm strapped now, and it's a super shitty small knife. And he goes, whoa dude, you carrying? I'm like, I need it for the firewood. He pulls out this fucking Bowie knife thing off of his ankle that's like this big, and he's like, oh, if you come with us to Vegas, I'm gonna sharpen that knife real sharp for you. I got the stone right here. I'm like, oh god damn it. Like, this is where the trip ends. This is where Chezz dies, and his bike gets taken into Mexico by a fugitive. But
holy shit!
I mean, the guy he was a veteran. Like, he told me, I walked with him after like 8 beers to the Grand Canyon in the middle of the night. We both pissed into the Grand Canyon, to be fair. But yeah, that was probably the most interesting person. Just the stories and kind of stuff he's seen. And then knowing the fact that he is fleeing to Mexico, I was like, and I almost agreed to go to Vegas with him. And I woke up the next morning.
You were obviously 8 beers in at that point.
I was 8 beers in. I woke up the next morning, I packed up. They came out like all fucking hungover and shit. Oh, also their truck was so ghetto that it slipped out of gear in the middle of the night and backed into a tree right next to their tent. I'm not even fucking kidding.
Oh, shit.
So his truck's just parked against the tree when I wake up, and I was like, oh wow. But I said goodbye to him, wished him good luck, and yeah, that was, I mean, he was a nice guy, but he's fucking fleeing the country. That's insane. I mean,
yeah,
cool. Who does that? Who does that and talks about it and has fun with it? I mean,
yeah,
good
exactly.
for him.
Like,
but
what if you were like, how does he know you're not gonna fucking be like, yo, I've got this fucking fugitive over here.
Yeah,
maybe you could have been a real dick.
Yeah, because his court case was like 2 days away, and he's like, I can't make it. He's like, it's in Georgia. I'm like, okay, like you're at the Grand Canyon. It's a little bit of a drive away from here.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was just on his way out, and I mean, I wish the best of luck to him. Honestly, he was a nice guy, but he's easily the most interesting person I met. A close second would be, I was in Tallahassee, Florida, No, I was in Jacksonville, Florida, and I ended up having these people were talking about travel or something, and I somehow butted my way into conversation because after being on the road by yourself for like 2 or 3 weeks, you just kind of start craving to talk to anyone, no matter who the fuck it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I ended up talking with the person who went from having jack shit raised on a farm to he patented the porta potty and he's a fucking millionaire and has multiple houses around the country. Yes. This is not, and he wasn't pulling my leg. He has business cards and all this shit. And I was like, wow. I was really hoping, and this sounds really shallow, I was hoping he'd put a sizable donation or hire me or some shit. But, yeah. He was rich as fuck. I mean, I should have just blown him right at that restaurant, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's how you get ahead in Hollywood, so. It might work for porta potties, too. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, just, that guy was easily a close second, but he was a real funny guy. Yeah. The Fugitive takes #1.
Huh.
All right. Well, another question here from Chopstickerism.
Good name.
Where did you eat, and what was the... Well, where did you use? Many places, so we'll just go with the second part. What was the greatest meal you had on the trip?
Wow, that's a tough one. A goal of this was to not eat at kind of chain restaurants, except for In-N-Out when Nick Fenton bought it for me with his In-N-Out credit card. It's not a credit card, it's just a gift card. But I try to stay away from chains, just like I try to stay away from the highways. And what I would do is I'd look for, some of these towns I went in were posted like population 220. Like, I mean, that's nobody. There's no stop signs. There's no stoplights. It's just a fucking town that people drive through or live there.
Yeah.
And so I would only, I stopped at places that just said restaurant, but I look for wherever it was packed, wherever there's cars there. I'm like, we're in the middle of fucking nowhere. If there's a car there, the food's probably pretty good.
Yeah.
One of the best things, I think, the most interesting one, is I saw a bunch of smoke billowing out of this like silo type thing. And it's near a gas station. I'm like, wow, something on fire. So I drive over there, and it says it's like a restaurant of some kind. And I go up to the guy, and I'm like, hey, I'm looking for food. The silo that's the size of like a 2-story house is a smoker for meat. And then there's probably the size of a bedroom by like 8 by 10. There's this metal container outside, and it's got a shit ton of meat in it that's just come out of the smoker. And he opens it for you, and he's like, what do you want? And you just fucking pick the meats you want. He weighs it, charges you the price, and he goes, there's bread and ketchup on the table. Enjoy. That was the restaurant I ate at. It wasn't a restaurant. It was just a fucking big smoker thing of meats, and they charged you by the weight, and it was fucking awesome. Delicious. But...
Damn.
And then probably a close second was I had alligator in New Orleans. The New Orleans food is fucking great. I didn't have one bad meal there. And I stopped at diners, I stopped at actual restaurants, I stopped at nice places, shitty places. Their food there, they pride that. And I did have gator, and gator was good.
I love how Stay Frosty wants to know. You said the meat's good, but he wants to know how the bread was.
The bread. Just think of generic bread you'd buy somewhere with no label on it and just sitting on a table in the 90-degree heat. Yeah, it was that was the bread. So the bread wasn't so bad. It wasn't baked by any means by a local baker. It was just fucking bread, probably bought at a gas station.
Where did you eat in Seattle? Because Seattle has amazing food. Amazing food.
Where did I... See, the thing is, I didn't stay in Seattle that long. I only had lunch with Jared at one of the bar restaurants right near the studio.
Probably the same one. They go like the same one over there. Like
I forgot it's... I don't know. Something... fire or something, I have no idea. But that was, to be honest with you, that was only okay. And I'm actually interested to do a little bit more enjoying of foods when we go there for Prime.
Yeah.
But I really slept at Rick Leslie's house. Big thank yous to him for that. And then the next day I went out, explored a little bit of Seattle on my bike, just pretty much what I could see from the roads. And it's a beautiful city. Their traffic sucks dick though. That's not cool.
It's a great walking city.
It's a great walking and biking city, yeah. And but then I met up with them, and then I took off towards Vancouver, and I had some good food in Vancouver too.
Nice.
Oh, Timmy Hortons. Oh,
Timmy Hortons.
Timmy Hortons.
It's good shit.
Yeah.
It is good shit. All right. I'm looking for some more questions. A bro's penis is not a question. That's a statement, Mr. Delirium VX. So we can't ask that one.
I have one for Scott, actually.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
It's from a part Salamander. He said, "How did either Chezz or APL get into mixing music?"
Well, you're more qualified to answer that one now.
I'll let
All right, I'll start, and then you can do the real answer for you. What do you? Oh, you smoke? You taking a little hit, bro? Taking a little hit?
Bro. I'm
Yeah.
2 days off actual cigarettes. This feels good.
Oh, I see what you're
Very
doing.
good.
Good man.
Had to quit.
I mean, I really got into EDM in the last year and a half, so I'm. But as far as the mixing stuff goes, I don't know. I started dabbling in like just putting tracks together for fun with a couple programs, and then I was like, well, I should really actually get tables and learn how to do this properly. So, yeah, I mean, this has been in the last probably 3 or 4 months. I don't know. I just had an interest in it because I love the music. And Chezz's 130-minute session with me when he was here, literally, I can't even tell you. It was like
I knew
it was
it
like
would blow
the
your
first
mind.
time. It did. It was like the first time, I figured out that I didn't believe in Jesus anymore. It was, but in a good way. Like it was like
I'm
it's
a big
weird way to
walking
describe it.
our atheism. I'm just
Yeah,
our
man.
atheism.
You're a walking our atheism. He showed it to me, and I was like, "Holy fuck, that makes so much sense." And so, yeah. Anyway, Chezz, I have to thank you for your tips. It has immensely helped me to mix that way. Like, it's not even close. Like, keep that fucker in the middle and use bass, treble, and high, man. That's it. That's what you, or bass, mid, and treble. So it's fucking good. But tell me, Chezz. Tell
So
me.
I came about it in a similar fashion. I think it was like, put it this way, I got into this music when I had a fucking Asian friend who was hot, and she was a chick, of course, or maybe a dude, you'll never know. But she
Well, you
was,
fucked
you know,
her probably, so you should probably-
being a hot Asian girl, she of course liked to club, and I
Yes.
mean, even at the age of like 15 or 16, she's already got older dudes taking her to fucking places. So she brings a CD. And of course, it's Benny Benassi Satisfaction. I'm like, whoa, that's fucking awesome! Like, oh, it's so cool! Like, and then I downloaded gigs and gigs of Benny Benassi, and so I'm listening to it, and I started getting into all this. I just went down the rabbit hole of music at that point.
Yeah.
Got into all of that, and I mean, this is like 2004, 2003, probably. Actually, yeah, it's before 2003. I mean, we're going real far back here. He had some 1999 mixes on there and shit. Like I've been listening to it for a while, and then I bought I wanted to start mixing, and I really didn't have a good place to download music at that time. I don't know if you guys remember what Oink was. Oink was like a torrent community, got shut down by the government. But yeah, that's where I got
Thanks,
a lot of
Obam.
things. Yeah, thanks, Obams.
Fucking
And,
Obama.
I bought a Behringer DJ controller similar to Scott's, but much shittier. Much shittier. All I had was like trim, tempo. And the worst part was living in Chicago, things get cold a lot. And I mean, if I was traveling to like a friend's house, we used to have so many basement like parties,
must've been
and everyone would have a
freezing.
DJ. And the thing is that if this device got too cold or too hot, it would start to clip and it would start to fuck up, and it was the worst, man. It was the
Shit.
fucking worst. And I was using it on an old ass MacBook, and it was so bad. But that's when I actually started mixing. And then when I got I used that all the way through high school, man, and people used to always have me out at their parties, and it was awesome. So I just kept getting music and kept staying with it, and I was like, yeah, you know, this will probably pass. Then I got to college, and I'm like, oh my god, I have a fake ID, like I can start DJing at the clubs. I'm getting a Serato. I had 2 vinyl turntables from when I really got into it. Like, I had those when I was like 16, and that was so hard mixing vinyl, but I learned how to do it. And just like I gave you 30 minutes, Scott, somebody gave me 30 minutes like back in the day with vinyl
Nice.
records, like at the shop. Somebody who's like 10 years older than me, so I have all the thanks to give to them. But then I hooked up my vinyl turntables to Serato, and I just fucking started mixing away. And then those are fucking plastic table, shitty fucking vinyl turntables. They're the worst. And so I started DJing without them at all. I would just use the keyboard to kind of beat match and stuff, and that was so tough. And then I caught a break and finally found a good deal on CDJs, and now I'm at the place where I'm at now. And with a little bit of time on my hands, I have a 52-key keyboard that I bought last year. I would like to start working on producing my own tracks.
Yeah.
Because some of the stuff Scott did, and I dropped it when we were playing the dubstep, and I was like, I didn't realize that was your track until I dropped it. And I was like, this is awesome! Like, this is so cool. I want to fucking make my own stuff too. So I got to dabble a little bit with that keyboard, but I really just back when I was working, it was wake up, go to the gym, go to work, stay late, and then come home and game maybe a little bit. I mean, you guys know there's been times where I've taken like long hiatuses from the gaming at all. I would just go home, eat dinner, and go to bed because work was rough at one point. But yeah, so now I want to do that. I want to hopefully take it to the next level. I'd like to get some gigs out here, but at the same time, you guys, everybody knows I'm willing to relocate anywhere. If I could go somewhere with more of a club scene or just somewhere I could make it at, yes, I know. But everybody's a DJ in LA.
That's true.
That's very true.
I mean, even Dunkus can do this.
That's right.
But I mean, Dunkus used to DJ the Coors Light stream, so I mean,
that's true. You know what? And I also want to make a special request. I don't know if this can happen tonight, but I really would like to see CheddarChezz fucking set on his channel sometime soon. It's now that he's back.
I wanna compile some tracks since I've been gone. That was 55 days without any new music. So
that's fair.
But
I don't even care. I just want you to fucking spin something. I don't care if I've heard the same tracks 1,000 times.
It felt so good to be at your house. It was like just.
Dude, you picked it up so fucking fast with a library of music that you'd never seen before, and I was like, oh god.
Library of music that I've never seen before, a controller I've never used, and genres that I never play. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was
so, what music did you listen to on the road? That's someone in the chat and also.
So I listened to 2 audiobooks. One was 17 hours long, and I almost decided to listen to it again. That was Blue Highways, about a guy who he explores the U.S. by little highways, and I was like, oh, this is kind of like what I'm doing. But it's hard to listen to a book when you're riding a motorcycle because your attention has to be. I couldn't actually enjoy it. It'd be much better listening to it in a car. But I would listen to SoundCloud when I could. I'd listen to Pandora when I could, but otherwise I would really just listen to the tracks that I mix. I didn't even listen to any of my mixes. I only listened to the original tracks. And I would catch things, like I'd put it on full shuffle, so it would go between, deep house, tech, electro, I mean, you name it, it would just all jumble together, and I was like, oh, and it was okay, because I like the music I have. That's why I'm very, very selective, and you should, when I actually shop for music and actually look for them, it takes me hours. I'm the pickiest person ever. I won't just get it because it's on a top 10 chart. So I listened to a lot of that, but I was fortunate that I'd say about 50% of the time I had cell phone reception, which is nice, because then I could listen to Pandora. I even tried listening to country. And I didn't think it was...
Wow, it must have gotten dark.
But
dark times.
Yeah, those were dark times. But I learned something about country. There's only a few themes for it. The guy is proud to be American. More power to you, America, oh bam. Lost his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Someone close to him died, whether it's his dog, a wife, or someone. And what was the last theme? Oh, something about impressing girls with trucks, guns, and beer. That's what I got.
Nice.
And I feel real shallow saying that, but yeah, it was. That's what I kind of got out of the Pandora Country Station.
So, if people want some APL or Chezz music, I don't know, Chezz, do you have anything on SoundCloud?
I have something on
You have a couple
Dropbox. SoundCloud. Scott, did you pay for an upgraded?
Mm-hmm. I pay for the whole kit and caboodle. Yeah, just to make me keep making mixes. So it's like, it's not the cheapest. So it sucks. The first account is like I think it's like $12 a month, but it only like if you do more than like an hour mix, like maybe once or twice a month, you're like you're done. So I upgraded to the premium one, whatever. Yeah, I think it's worth it. It's worth it because then you'll want to use it. Like, you know what I mean? Once you do it.
Oh yeah, it's like an investment. I have the 3-hour birthday mix, which everyone seems.
Oh yeah.
Which I'll link in the chat in a minute, but that's on my Dropbox. But yeah, I think I'm actually gonna upgrade my SoundCloud for you guys, so I can actually. Yeah. A lot of you have been sent over and actually found me on there. It's just Chezz, I believe, and yeah.
I'm about to link in chat. Chezz's SoundCloud, APL's SoundCloud.
Yeah, there's a new mix on my SoundCloud as well, just from an impromptu 2-hour one I did last night.
Yeah, ISO's Wax DJ, which you hear on this stream often.
Yes.
Which actually Chezz you would love. He mixed in like 07 to 09.
Oh,
he was a WoW rogue, and he used to post his mixes on the WoW forums. And so that's where I first got him. And then also, get the new Pretty Lights album. I've been playing it on here, people. It's free to download. Go get it. It's fucking awesome if you're into that kind of music. So, There's some good shit right there. What else do we got here? That was a good little combo. The only thing I've ever done, I played guitar all through high school, and then used to jam with people a little bit, but that was about it. I'm nowhere near this stuff. But
Yeah, it's been a long time for me.
Zoker asks, next vacation, I guess we could all answer this. Next vacation, where do you plan to go and how long? I guess my next vacation will be out to Cali at Christmas time.
Yes, it will.
For about a week. And but I'm also going to PAX Prime. But I would love to go back to Mexico.
I've never been.
Dude, it's fucking awesome. I can't remember the name of the place we went either. I'm such an idiot. It wasn't Cancun. God damn. It's right on the tip of the Baja Peninsula, and I'm blanking so hard, and it's pissing me off. I'm actually going to Google Maps right now to try to figure out where it was. But I highly recommend it. It's cheap as fuck, too. Well, it's not that cheap to get there. But
Punta Cana or something?
Cabo San Lucas. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
I was like blanking so hard. Cabo San Lucas, it was friggin' amazing. We went to all like off-street restaurants, like not, because that town, and I'm guessing Cancun's also the same way, are very Americanized in a lot of places. Like there's a gigantic mall in Cabo San Lucas, but if you go off street and you don't go to the you go to the restaurants that the people who work at the American restaurants go to, that's where you want to be, and it's so good, man. But yeah, highly recommend that. I would love to go back there. So that would be it for me, I think, for a real vacation.
What about you, Scotty?
It's weird. I've never I don't have usually like sections where. Well, actually, that's not true. Like EDC was a vacation, I guess technically, but I never look at it.
Yeah.
That. Like oh, I'm going. I look at I'm doing shit, but yeah, I don't know. For me, vacation wise, I'm not really sure. I don't have anything planned. Like EDC was a pretty big investment and like really fun, like 4 or 5 days. So that was my last one. I don't really know. Like there's a couple things coming up, but they're more like just events that I want to go to, like PAX, obviously, and Nocturnal, a couple other EDM festivals. So I don't know. As far as like going to some other state or going to see something like for a vacation, I'm not sure. I don't know.
What about
Chezz?
you, Chezz? You just saw everything. So what
I'm done. I'm dropping the mic for vacation.
You're like, I'm going on a 60-day trip to Norway now.
Yeah. No, I'm going to PAX Prime, which is exciting because I heard it's just even larger than East, and I think East is huge.
It's better than East because Seattle's better than Boston. So shots fired.
Boston.
Wow, shots fired.
Bazooka's fired.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but did Paul Revere ride through the streets of Seattle? No, he didn't.
But vacation's the farthest thing from my mind, so PAX Prime is gonna have to take it for this year. I doubt I'll do any more traveling. I need to line up some income, and then we'll go from there.
All right. Okay, this question is interesting. So, respected, another Dan, asks, do you condone underage drinking? So this was completely off the traveling topics.
That's a good question.
How shall
It depends on what age.
I don't know. Condone isn't. I don't know if you could use the word condone.
What is that? Here's what I would say. I would say I don't think there should be a drinking age. Most of Europe there is not, I believe. Yeah. Or it's like 14, I believe, some places. Well, if you want to go out with what it really logically should be in America, it should be 18.
Yep.
If you're old enough to go get shot in a war, you're old enough to take a drink. And most people that I know drank well before 21, even if they weren't drinking heavily or partying.
How old were you when you first drank, John?
16, probably.
How about you, Scott?
My first beverage, Yeah, I mean, I was in my teens. I drank
Yeah.
on and off in my teens. Up at, you know, like later teens, probably like 17 and 18.
I had my first drink ever in the UK, so that was cool.
Yeah.
Legally, nice.
We were at Oxford, on Oxford campus, and we were drinking in a billiards room there.
See, that's
My brothers and I.
awesome.
Yeah, we weren't getting hammered or anything, but I would say what I'm going to tell my kids, as a person with kids, what I'm going to tell my kids is basically I can't stop you from doing something retarded, but I can't really stop you from drinking at a friend's house either. I mean, so I'm basically going to say to them, don't try to hide it from me. And
They're gonna be like, Dad, wait. So you're saying
no,
it's
I'm
okay?
saying it's okay. No, I'm saying it's okay as long as you don't drive.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
I'll just be like, call me. Like, fucking call me. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying you should do this.
I don't.
Yeah,
This
don't
is
be an
my.
idiot.
Yeah.
Would be my
Sorry.
whole thing.
Go ahead.
Don't be an idiot. That's all.
My thing with drinking is like, drinking is one of those things that's like this. Like it's since it's 21 in the U.S., it becomes this like this fucking like huge
Yes.
deal. Obviously, when you
That's
turn
a
21
problem.
and then you get fucking hammered. But like, only drink if you actually enjoy. I know so many people that fucking drink, and I know even people that have become alcoholics that don't even. Obviously, they enjoy the feeling of being fucking hammered, and they do it
Right.
for multiple reasons. But only drink if you actually enjoy it. Like, I know people that have forced themselves into believing that they actually enjoy the process of imbibing, whether beer, or alcohol, or anything else. But they only do it because they want to get to the end point of being totally fucked up and not
Yeah.
knowing, you know, where they are, what their lives are about, and stuff like that. So, I mean, it definitely it depends on each person, and I would definitely say too, if you're someone that has like a really addictive personality and you find yourself very easily. You know, whatever you do, you go super hard at it and get fucking. I mean, a lot of times that can apply to substances of all kinds. So I think you should be careful. Like, I mean, there's certain people in my family. Like I have so many alcoholics in my family. So,
Well,
like just
yeah.
straight up alcoholics that can't function without, you know,
Our-
without alcohol in their system. So for me, it was always something that I went into lightly, and luckily I don't have that same kind of issue. I can drink. You know, I don't drink that often, but I can drink on and off. I don't have an issue. But definitely, I think it's something to look at. Like, don't just do it because, oh, everyone drinks. It's fucking
Yeah.
cool. You know what I mean?
Our wedding was dry due to that reason.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
both my wife and I and all our friends drink, but my
Yep.
family has so many alcoholics in it that
Mm.
we just couldn't
Yep.
do it.
Yeah, totally.
But we had an after party for our friends and stuff like that. But I mean, even recently for me, I have, except for on the canoe trip, but I was in such a good mindset on that trip that I got I got blackout drunk and passed out like super early. But I got but like that was the first time where I drank a lot in a long time where I wasn't a fucking mess. Like
Yeah.
like
It's all about that state of mind.
I may have been
Seriously.
I may have been a mess there. I'm not sure, but I wasn't. I know I wasn't like being a jerk, or just like an emotional mess. Sean can maybe confirm for me. But,
Sean's like, absolutely not. He's like, you were a fucking dick.
but like
Yeah.
like summer camp, I had one good night and then I just couldn't get into it again. I was like super down. So, I mean, yeah, I was happy drunk Dan. See, that's good. See, that hasn't
Yeah,
been,
I like
hasn't
that,
been
Dan.
that in a while.
Alcohol, since it's a depressant for me, like I that's why I don't drink. Like I always end up. I have to be. First of all, I have to start out when I'm drinking. I have to be in a very positive mindset from the beginning, and I have to keep my focus on that because for me, alcohol will spiral me into that fucking
Yeah.
depressing mindset so quickly. Which is why I just don't tend to do it all that often. Like at parties and stuff like that, or occasionally I do it. But for me, it's like it's not my go-to
Right.
medication of choice, shall we say?
But-
So.
I don't know. I think there should be a vastly lower drinking age, or none at all. And the reason I think that is because of what you said about 21st birthdays, Scott.
Yeah.
It's like alcohol becomes this thing, especially to high schoolers. At least when I was in high school, it was like, is there gonna be alcohol at this party?
Yeah.
Like, you'd be, oh my god, who's getting it? Like, who's getting it for us? Like,
Yeah.
like something like that. And it's just like, if it didn't have that mystique about it for people who can't buy it, then it'd be fine.
Right.
Like, it wouldn't be as big of a deal, and I actually think you'd see less abuse.
150% you are correct. I had the pleasure of getting a fake ID when I was 17 that worked all the way until I was 21. But once I got it, it was like, yeah, I'm 21. Like, I just went fucking wild at 17. It was awful. It was a big mess. And then when I actually turned 21, because I had already experienced it, what I did is I walked across the street to the one bar across from where I live. I had 3 beers with friends, and then I went home and went to bed because it wasn't a big deal. Now, if it was never a big deal in the first place, no one would wild out. No one would be me getting carried down a flight of stairs by 2 friends because I'm fucking hammered.
Yeah.
It wouldn't happen if it wasn't, if it wasn't this big, fucking hidden thing that we gotta, we're gonna sneak a 12-pack into our parents', shed, and we're gonna shotgun them, and then we're gonna pop breath mints, and they'll never know.
It's just it's the same, yeah, totally. No, I totally agree. It's the whole mentality that this fucked up country has of just suppressing anything that, goes against like the established order of how. Well, this is getting into conspiracy theories. Not conspiracy theories, but just like the whole idea that like, oh, people, if you don't put an age limit on alcohol, people will just go fucking insane. They'll just lose it. We can't be trusted with ourselves. It's like, it's fucking insulting. And also the whole, we talk about like the whole war on drugs, which is a fucking farce. Anyway, and the stuff that like alcohol is legal, but obviously weed is kind of starting to get to that point, which it should have been a long time ago. But even other drugs, obviously, there's certain things where it's like heroin.
The biggest example of the double standard there is obviously cigarettes.
Oh yeah, totally.
Until
which
the
has
last
absolutely
couple
no
decades. But like before that, it was like fucking smoke cigarettes. Do it now. Like it's just,
right. Yeah, exactly.
Like that's like the 50s and 60s, man. Like. And then ridiculous. once it got to be a health thing, but then you don't see cigarettes are super harmful for you, and you don't see anyone clamoring for that age to be raised.
Totally, it's like, and even with the heroin argument too. Like, I would be, if they just legalized all drugs and it was like heroin had to be in that to do it, I'd be like, fine. Obviously, if you start heroin, you're a fucking idiot, and then you deserve what you get.
That's your fault.
Like that's it. But yeah, just like, oh god, man, it's just so fucking stupid, so depressing. In the U.S. with the whole drug war. It's like, whatever. I don't know. We're making strides. Strides.
The summary of this is we're going to tell our children not to be retards.
Yes.
Absolutely. I'm going to try to raise my... Yeah, if I have kids, like Dan said. Dan's approach is right. That's going to be my
base rule. Is like, you can go drink if you want, but don't go too hard. Don't be stupid, Like,
don't be the laughing stock.
Yeah, like when we drank in high school... the few times that we did, or the few times that I did anyway, it was usually out at my buddy Ron's cabin, where summer camp is, in an isolated place where no one was going to leave, and, like, there it is. Like, if my kid calls me drunk at 2 in the morning, fine. At least he's not driving home drunk at 2 in the morning. Like,
right.
like, that's totally fine. I don't know. It's just, you have to have common sense, like, with everything. But,
you really do. You're right. And then as a society, if I'm wrong and drugs are legal, like fully legalized, and our whole society falls apart because people are just fucking using heroin in the streets on the way to work, then guess what? We as a society don't deserve to be a functioning society, and we should be taken over by the British again or some shit. Like, we don't deserve it. So, fucking god, this gets me riled up. Sorry. All right.
Chezz will be streaming Thursday, I think. I hope so.
Yes, I will be on Thursday.
Yes, on the KBMOD channel. I don't know when he's going to start on his own channel, but he will be on the KBMOD channel. So, yeah. That was a good question, actually.
That was
a good question.
Yeah, interesting.
I'm looking through here. I didn't really pimp this out as much as I should for him. Alright. Man. What we got here? What was your favorite stop on the trip?
So that's tough to answer because the original point of the trip was just me mapping out destinations. I know you guys all saw that big ass map of where I wanted to go. And like, I'm gonna go to Miami. I'm gonna go to Texas, Houston, Austin, whatever. It became, once I ventured off the highway, it became about the ride. So it was more so, it's not even, destinations weren't even what I was looking forward to. It was usually during the day, and like the destination was I need rest and I need food and maybe a beverage. But I had a real good time in Vancouver. Like a really good time in Vancouver.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that seemed like not that you had a bad time everywhere else or anything like that, but that sounded like that was your favorite.
It was. It's just such the scenery and everything that just surrounds that city, and just it's super bicycle friendly, and of course it helps that Mark and Tegan were just so great, and hosting me and being just awesome people. And another place I want to spend a little bit more time in is Austin. Mr. Base Capsar in the chat was able to put me up for one of the nights there, and we got to go out, and that was fun. He's a totally awesome dude. We had some good conversations, but I want to actually stay a few more days there because I think it's larger than I thought it was. There's much more there than I was expecting, and with technology and work and stuff, I had really kind of had to think about if this is a place I'd be willing to live. So, but Vancouver is probably one of my favorite places I went to, and I love California. Don't get me wrong, and even with your traffic and stuff, it doesn't matter for me on a bike being a lane splitting asshole. But yeah, I'd probably say Vancouver was one of my favorite places. I got to go up to Whistler Mountain and all that, and just kind of take it all in. And I mean, that was summertime, and that's primarily a wintertime place. So, and I thought it was nice then. I bet you it's amazing in the wintertime.
Yeah. Well, guys, we are about at that time as far as the AMA is concerned.
Well, the cat hasn't said hello yet.
Oh, Rogan. Rogan.
Oh,
what is
yes.
up? Look at him. Wow, he looks somewhat.
He looks somewhat elevated, actually.
Yeah, he
I'm
does.
not gonna lie. Looks
He's
a little
lit.
turnt.
He's lit.
He's lit.
Slightly lit. Lit ass
Wow.
Rogan over there.
Jeez.
So thank you guys for coming out to episode 4 of the KBMOD AMA. A bit of a special episode with Chezz coming back from his trip. Good turnout for the AMA. And our streams continue this week back to normal. Dan does not have to do this 4 times a week anymore. Although he's going to do it more soon. We got Hex tomorrow night playing some Prison Architect, which I'm going to tune in for because that game looks freaking sweet. And then we got Chezz on Thursday. I would think some CSGO, but I don't know what he's going to play. I don't know what he's going to play.
Everybody told me we're going hard on CSGO, and I come back and no one's going hard on CSGO.
I played it, and then I realized the pistols are terrible, and I stopped playing.
Stop playing.
God damn you.
No, I want to get back into it somewhat as well.
So he'll be doing that Thursday, and soon, very soon, like within the next few weeks here, definitely before PAX, there will be a 6 to 8 hour streaming block on Fridays during the day from me, as my work schedule changes to 4 days a week instead of 5.
Yeah.
Pretty excited to do a full day of stream. I've been wanting to do this since we started going hard on this, and just hasn't been an option. But now it will be. So we'll be having those on Friday at some point. They have to. The place where I work has 37.5-hour work weeks, not
What the
40
fuck?
hours.
That's a fucking odd number there.
For staff, for hourly people. So the 4-day work week ends up at 38 hours, so they're trying to get it through HR right now to see if that's like a possible thing to do with their payment structure. Yeah, it's weird. But yeah, thank you for coming out, guys. Make sure to give us a follow if you're new. Subscribe if you like what you see. We do these AMAs now and then. They are not a regular thing, but we do them now and then. And yeah, regular streams for the rest of the week. And I don't know if either of these gentlemen stream tonight. Probably not, but I don't know.
Yeah, maybe in an hour or so.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be just spinning for a little bit more and just keep practicing it up. So gotta put more tracks.
Twitch.tv/APLFisher.
Yes.
And, next week, be prepared for a new portion of the KBMOD website to be opening up for your guys' use. So we'll have more info on that when it comes. But
Nice.
all right, guys, that's it for tonight. We will see ya.
See you guys later.